There's something like that cliche is actually so true.
It really is, man.
Like, I'm not in love with you, but I still love you.
Yeah.
And it's just like we need more words like the Inuit have like a dozen words for snow to describe different types of snow, but we have this one word and it's like love. And
it's such a broad. Yeah, it has a lot of meanings.
Well,
or a lot of different inferences, I guess.
We took Ella, our 5-year-old daughter, to ramen the other night when we first
Tatsu.
Yeah, Tatsu ramen in West Hollywood, and she's like, I love you, and I love ramen. Because she's super excited. It's like her favorite restaurant to go to. And I'm trying to explain to her, like, it's okay to love ramen noodles, like to enjoy that, but it's a different kind of love from loving your parents or loving other people. It's a completely different thing. So hopefully we'll dive into that today. We're going to talk about breaking up with people.
So that whole saying, I love you, but I'm not in love with you, like, what does that mean to you?
It means to me that I care about you. I can love you as a person, but I don't want to. I don't see a partnership. I don't feel the way about you romantically that I otherwise would. Nate, what do you think about that?
No, I think it's a really big thing. Like we're gonna get into the murky stuff of breaking up here in a bit, but I feel like it is possible to still love someone deeply and compassionately, but for it to take a different kind of form than a romantic love.
Yeah,
and I think that's what I'm saying. I feel like we need, and I know there are like different terms, and people are going to start tweeting me. It's agape love or whatever. And
what did you just say?
There's a term, agape love,
which is like a brotherly love.
Oh,
yeah, and so like there are different terms, but they're not commonly accepted.
But agape, even that, I mean, that's a different language. I mean, that's not English. It's a word we stole. I don't know if it's Greek.
I think it's Greek. Yeah.
So it's like, because we have so few words for love in English language, we have to steal words from other languages to describe the love that we're dealing with. When I think about being in love with loving someone but not being in love with someone, it's almost like I think of my past relationships where I've gotten into a routine of loving someone. And I don't know if either of you guys has ever been in a relationship like that where you start dating someone, things are really awesome.
The chemistry's great.
Yeah, chemistry's great. And then 6 or 8 months into it, you're like, yeah, I still really like this person, but you're not as excited about it. And then, maybe I know I certainly have done this where like after a year, it's like, wait a minute. Like, I'm probably not going to marry this person, but I'm really used to having them in my life. And I really do love them as a person, but I'm not probably going to take this, that next step or whatever it may be. I guess my point is a lot of the times we will stay in a relationship because of the familiarity with it.
And it's not even, the next step thing is interesting to me because there doesn't necessarily have to be a next step. Like I think about my current relationship with Bex and Ella. Like there are next steps in terms of evolving as a couple, but but it's wanting to continue to journey down that same path together.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
And sometimes we keep going down the same path, even though you're like, oh, I'm going down the wrong path, and I might be dragging this other person down the wrong path as well.
Oh yeah.
And we're like both going down the wrong path because we've refused to acknowledge the fact that, hey, I can still love you from a distance and travel in a different path.
This is the way that I look at it right now. Is how can I thank you for all the time that we've spent together and all the ways that you have enriched my life.
Yeah.
And then not hold on to it anymore.
Yeah.
And the love can still be present, right? You can still love someone and be like, thank you for everything. That was an amazing run. I learned a lot from you. I'm feeling like I need to go this way. I get the sense that you need to go this way. Let's have a conversation about that and then figure out how to support each other on these journeys. Because if you've built this love over time, there should be a lot of communication and there should be a lot of support still.
And then we often feel compelled to sort of tear it down. If I know in the past, I've been in relationships where if it hasn't worked out, then all of a sudden there's almost like this cultural imperative to and it's so silly to me now, but there's a cultural imperative to to shun the other person, to tear them down, to make them feel bad in some way because it didn't work out, or maybe I should feel bad that it didn't work out, as opposed to the other way to look at it is you can also graduate from a relationship. It's what Dan Savage calls the campsite rule, right? You want to leave things better than you found them at a campsite. Bax and Ella just went camping this past week, and I'll have no part of that.
And you left him there.
No. He didn't even know where to go.
No, I'll avoid that. But I understand. But fundamentally, I appreciate that rule where it's like, if you're going to be in a relationship with someone, whether that's a business relationship, a friendship, an acquaintanceship, networking, whatever it is, why not leave that relationship better than how you found it?
I feel like the basis for all of this is self-love, and then communication about what you're feeling and thinking with the other person in an honest, direct way. Like, the only way that I feel like you have a good relationship, and the only way that you have a good ending to a relationship, a romantic relationship, whatever, is to be completely on board and communicative with that person in a direct and honest and open, compassionate way.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it has to do with what you were just talking about, you being thankful, being grateful for the time you had together, and being able to find a way to express that. Because even if a relationship's ending, and even if it's not your fault that it's ending, you can be grateful for that time that you had together, and you can still express that in a way that isn't mopey or overly emotional or accusatory. Because there's also a passive aggressive way to express your gratitude.
Yes,
and we want to avoid that.